I'm up here. That's better. Okay. Now that you can see me here, today we have the OUPES 1200 watt power station. Good little power station. I've used it for 6 months, and let me tell you, this thing has worked on everything I've thrown at it. Now, I'll set this up here. I wasn't going to bore you with taking it out of the box and showing you all the little packaging on the inside. It's well packaged. It's well packaged. So I'm not boring you with taking it out of the box. Okay, but what I will show you coming out of the box is with the accessories here. You have your cigarette lighter plug. Plugs into the front. So you have that. And you also have your wall plug. Now, when I plug it in with the wall plug, I'm getting roughly 180 watts plugged in charger. Depending on your cigarette lighter and everything, I've gotten about 150 or so out of the cigarette lighter plug. But what's kind of impressive with me is here on the power brick. You know how a lot of power bricks, you have cords on both sides, so you got real sticky, big, bulky cords. You only got one that's coming out the side here. You see how this one comes in kind of at an angle, so that way if you kind of put it up into a corner or something, you know, it's not so bad. But I do like the power brick being angled like that. That's kind of cool. It's got the same plug-in, plugs in the front. So got this, and it's like every plug-in power brick, they do get hot. But anyway, let's get to this. Okay, this is a 1200 watt unit. It's a 992 watt hour unit. It has a surge rating of 3200 watts. You heard me right. A surge rating of 3200 watts on the AC side. It's got the cool little things we'll show you here. Okay, here on the front of the unit, you have your 3 AC ports, your power switch, your input, your display, USB ports, USB-C, 18 watt and 60 watt, DC 12 volt outputs, and your cigarette lighter output as well. I believe it puts out 13.2 volts. Turn it on. When you first turn it on, display shows you you're 100% charged. If you want your DC turned on, you press your DC button. It'll tell you how many hours is available under the current load. That's your percentage of your battery. That is your wattage. That's how many watts that you're using. So let's say you want to do your AC. When you turn the AC on, fan comes on for just a minute. Same thing. That's how many hours. That's your percentage, and that's your wattage. I'm going to show you this thing works. Now, this side here, this is where you have your fan. So it'll come on under heavy loads and everything. It also comes on when you're charging. So one thing I notice about this when it's charging is you hear this fan sometimes, and it can get a little loud at times. Only when the battery's like really low, then it gets up. It's not so bad. You have your LED light here in the back. It has the high, low, and strobe on it. And you have your intake port lets your air come in and comes out the other side. But what I have powered with this unit, you have your user manual here. It tells you everything about the unit, how to operate it. It's a no-brainer, easy to read book. In here they claim a 50-watt mini cooler can run for 17.5 hours. I can tell you I've run a portable DC freezer for this over 2 days with it. Just this alone, over 2 days. Pulling about a 50-watt load. The compressor doesn't come on all the time. It's on and off. But this thing had run it for over 2 days and I still had power to go. So this thing does good. With a high surge rating of 3200 watts, if you run something that has a little bit of a surge rating, more than a 1200, you should be okay. I have run all kinds of different things with this. I have not had an issue with it so far. It's worked excellent. I've taken it out on a boat. Used it out on the boat. Yep. Used it out on the boat one day. Use it camping. I've used when the power was working on the RV and the power was out. If you're in the house and your power goes out, hey, you can get some lights and stuff with this. You may be able to run a household refrigerator on this. I haven't tried that, so I can't speak for if it'll run a household fridge or not. But fan, I've run a fan for this for 3-4 days. Run the fan about 6 hours a night. I've run it, I know, 3 days or possibly 4. Still had plenty of power left in it. I've even run, and I'm going to run, I've run my computer off of this, not my laptop. I have run my desktop with this, and this runs it. We're talking about a mid to high end desktop. This runs it. I'm going to edit the video while I'm plugged in to this. It'll do it. I've already done it before. I'm going to do it again. This thing, I'm going to show you. We're going to use this. I'm going to use this and I'm going to cut some stuff plugged in with this. I'm going to use some power tools just with this. Now I'm going to set the camera up where you can see this. This is a 6 amp 4.5 inch angle grinder that I'm going to use, and I'm going to put a load on this. You'll be able to hear me actually putting a load on it, and you can see what this here does. Now I'm going to put a no load on it. You see I pulled about 250 watts. Now I'm actually going to put a load on this grinder and let's see what happens. As you see, I was in the 900 range. I was putting a load on it with this grinder I showed you. Really putting a load on it. But now, let's plug in a 1500 watt heat gun and see what that'll do. Just show you, no matter which one you plug into. First thing we'll turn it on low. I believe is right at 550 watts for this on low. It is a Harbor Freight deal. And we're pulling 582 watts. That is on low. I'm going to turn it on high. And we should be around 1100 and something. Turn the display. To turn the display on, you just press the button just one time. And we're pretty much pulling max power out of this unit. Remember, this is a 1200 watt, but it does have a 3200 watt surge rating. But I'm pulling pretty much full load on it. And right now, with this load, I can run it for 53 minutes. With this 1179 watt load on it. 53 minutes. I don't know why you would run a heat gun for 53 minutes, but yeah. But it's running it. Turn it off. You hear the fan here in the background running. Turn it back on. But it run it with no problems. Now I have used this for several months now. They sent it to me roughly 5-6 months ago, and I have used this a lot. I'm not talking about just general low power stuff. I've really used the snot out of this thing. I've had other people that's had different models. This has beat them. This one here, not too bad as far as weight. It's 24 pounds. It's not that heavy, but it works, and that's what I like. It works when I need it. As long as you got it charged up, it'll be fine. Now, can you use it while you're charging? Yes, you can. I plugged charging in and was using it just to make sure it would do it, and it did. 12 volt, 110, all the ports, they all worked while it was charging. No problem on that. Now it does kind of affect the display here where it tells you about your watts, because you got coming in and coming out, so it kind of it adjusts for that. But this thing has worked for me with no problem. I have run a 5-gallon air compressor off of this, no problem. I needed air. I wasn't able to plug in, but with this I was. Now the good things about it. Now let's talk about one of the things that I hate is motorcycles all the time when you're trying to talk. Rum rum. There's one thing that I do not like about this, is while it is charging, it has that little hum to it. The fan runs a little bit and it has that hum. I do not like that. It does kind of, I'm the person that weird noises bug the snot out of me. But it's got that little vroom, 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 kind of sound to it. It's real low. That's the only thing I do not like about this. I don't know why it does that. It's with the fan cooling. Sometimes the fan will ramp up to cool it down, and then the fan goes back down, but it has that slow little rum in it while it's charging. But that is the only downfall that I've come across with this one. I do like the display, how it does time out, so it doesn't stay on all the time and wasting power. It's on for, I think, like 15, 20, 30 seconds, something like that, and then the display goes back out, which is fine. It's just long enough for what you need to look at it, make sure everything's working. But This thing here is not a piece of junk. Now, if you follow my link in the description below, you can get a 10% discount on this. Get it right now while you can, because camping season's here. People want to get going. This thing will be nice to have. If you use my link down below, use promo code Wayne10, you can get 10% discount on this bad boy right here. Get it. It's worth it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Get it. Trust me. You won't be disappointed with this. It does a lot. I've even charged my e-bike several times with this. It still had power left. So, it's a nice thing about this. If you need, you could even strap this to a bike. Strap your charger for your e-bike. Ride a little ways when you need to charge up. You turn this on, plug it in, charge your e-bike while you travel. Just strap it down good. They do have different units available on their website as well. You can check out. They got smaller ones and stuff. I would go with this model here, the 1200. This thing has worked for everything I've used it for. I'm sure it'll work for everything you could use it for. I use it to the extreme sometimes. So trust me, if it'll work for me, I know it'll work for you. Questions, comments, please like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. I will see you all in the next video.